Thank you, there you go. That's one called It's Polka Magic. All right, let's slow it down to betting time for you right now. And before we do, we've got a happy birthday in the house. Mary Simkowski-Pior celebrating her 30th birthday. This comes out from Jeanette in the game. So especially for Mary, let's sing happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mary. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mary. Happy birthday to you. Oh, it's all good.
There you go, happy birthday, Mary. And we're going to do this event. We'll send it out especially for the bad boys in the house. Former bandmate Eddie Big Eye here with us today. Here we go for you. It's one called Two E-Tom. Alright.
We
For you. With all the obetic dancers on the floor, we're going to mix this one up just a little bit. Here we go with the tune available off of the DynaBrass Dream Lives On recording. For all the obetic dancers, and especially for Dottie here in the house. We sent one out for Spike earlier, and Dottie, this one's for you. Here we go. One called Hossa, Horasa. Thanks for playing along. Alright, we're going to go instrumental polka time for you right now. This one off of our most recent recording, 5 and 10. Or 10 and 5, one of the two. I was thinking about the 5 and dynasty. Here we go for you. We're going to feature Jack Beachley on the concertina. Everybody get those hands clapping. Come on. Get that booty shaking. Here we go for you. It's one called the Pickles and Peppers Polka. There you go, off our latest recording. That's one called the Pickles and Peppers. All right, let's keep that polka beat going for you right now. We're going to do a tune for you that's available off of the In the Heat of the Night recording. Here's Chase on the vocals, one called At the Square. Thank you, that's one call back to square. One more polka coming your way, and then we got a couple of waltzes. And we'd like to let you know that they are now selling tickets for the 50-50 raffle. So if you are interested, they're coming around 50-50 raffle time. Now's the time to get your tickets. We'll do this next tune, especially for our good friends, for Neil and Mary Ann, who are with us today. And thanks for sporting that DynaBrass t-shirt there, Neil. Appreciate it. Here we go for you, one off of our And the Road Begins CD. It's one called the Congratulations Polka. The Congratulations Polka. Alrighty, waltz time for you right now. Slowing it down. I'd like to send this one out for Mary Ellen here in the house with us today. Here we go. It's one called the Blues Skirt Waltz. Chris, on the vocal for you.
I dream of that night with you. I'll get my heart for you. You were the sky, you were the light, just like the breeze through your world. Oh, that the way we go back, don't be blue anymore.
Thank you. That's one called the Blue Screw Waltz. We're going to keep it waltz time for you with all the waltz dances up on the floor. Here we go. The old Papa Brothers classic, one called the White Roses Waltz. Yellow Illusion.
Send this out to my love and wife, Kim. That was our beautiful song 26 years ago.
So inquiring minds are asking the proverbial question, where are we? Well, we are at the Polish Cultural Foundation Center here in Clark, New Jersey on Broadway. This is where they have the polka dances every other month. And this is a little south of Newark, and that's where we're at. We're in Clark, New Jersey, which is south of Newark, New Jersey. If you go down the Garden State Turnpike, exit 135. And of course, this is the fine sounds of the DynaBrass from Toledo, Ohio, and Michigan. And of course, they were at the Uniontown Polish Club last night. They did an outstanding job on the videos.
Here's one called the Tattletale Polka, Punch Guy, Punch Guy.
So thanks to everyone for joining us. Hope everyone's doing well out there.
Thank you, that's Jack on the vocal. This one called the Tattletale Polka. All right, we're going to do one for all the accordion aficionados in the house right now. This is the most famous polka ever recorded in the country of Finland. We're going to feature Chris Hedrich for you right now off of our all-in recording This one's called the Saki Arvin Polka. Let's get those hands clapping. This one's called the Saki Island Polka. How about a little bit of Happy Louie music for you right now? We'll do it for all the Louie fans in the house. We call this one our Happy Louie Medley. Here we go. about 20 minutes. Thank you.